Galaxy. We are live with a recap of AEW Dynamite on October 23rd, 2024. We are on the road to AEW Full Gear. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. Let's discuss the show. We kicked off Dynamite with a video package from Jon Moxley's group, the Blackpool Combat Club, whatever they're being called now. They cut a promo in the desert. Moxley said a piece of somebody will be destroyed forever for the greater good. And then they drove off in their truck. I presume this was somewhere near Salt Lake City, Utah, and they were on their way to the arena. Now, outside of the arena, we had what I like to call the AEW B team, Dark Order, and all those guys. They were standing outside waiting for the arrival of Jon Moxley's group. They were not going to tolerate any shenanigans this week. They were there ready for Moxley's group. More on that in just a little bit. Tony Schiavone was in the ring. He introduced Hangman Adam Page. Schiavone wanted to know where Adam Page's mind is at with all the stuff going on with Jay White. Page just grabbed the mic from Schiavone, started ripping into Jay White, and that's when Colton Gunn attacked Page from behind, but Page quickly got the upper hand. Then we had Jay White and Juice Robinson running down. Hangman Page escaped, and he was limping a little bit as he left. Jay White got on the mic, said Adam Page cannot hide, despite Page's gimmicks with all these various weapons he's been using in death matches. Page will never be on his level, and he said he'll see Page soon. I presume we'll have this match at Full Gear, but we'll see. Decent opening segment. It was fine. We had a video package for Sammy Guevara versus Shelton Benjamin, and they even showed a photograph of Shelton Benjamin with a very young Sammy Guevara. We had a match between these two. Sammy Guevara did some of the high flying, but then Shelton Benjamin was able to take control when MVP stepped over Shelton, so Sammy could not come over the top of the guy. Shelton was able to take advantage of this, and then Sammy was taken to Suplex City by Shelton Benjamin. Shelton continued on the offense. Eventually, Sammy was able to make a comeback. He had a cutter, but could not make the cover. MVP was starting to get nervous. He yelled out, "Stop playing with your food." Sammy then went for like a springboard dropkick or clothesline, something. Basically, they recreated the Shawn Michaels and Shelton Benjamin super kick spot from 2005, only this time it was Shelton with the counter delivering the super kick to Sammy Guevara. I thought that was a cool throwback to that match. And then Shelton Benjamin was able to pick up the win with the exploder suplex into the power slam. I really liked the match. I think so far Shelton Benjamin has been booked like a beast. His in-ring style, it's a mix of what he usually does, but he's also been doing the suplexes, acting more like a big man, wrestling like a big man, kind of like a Brock Lesnar or even a Randy Orton. I really like the way Shelton's working since his debut in AEW. So far, so good. AEW, hopefully they do not mess this up with MVP and Shelton Benjamin. And with Bobby Lashley coming in, this act actually feels like it could be successful in AEW. I liked it. Now, we had a video package recapping Kyle Fletcher's betrayal of Will Ospreay. And then Tony Schiavone brought Kyle Fletcher to the ring. Don Callis was there. And Fletcher finally explained why he betrayed Will Ospreay. He essentially said that people considered Fletcher to be the next Will Ospreay, and he actually took that comparison as an insult. He said he's better than Ospreay in every single way, and he needed to find a way to get out of Ospreay's shadow. I thought at times the promo was good, but at the same time I felt like he was rambling quite a bit. It went on longer than it needed to. The crowd was chanting, "Shut the F up" at him, and he eventually challenged Ospreay for next week, and he said he's nothing like Ospreay, and he proved a point. He shaved his blonde hair, so he has the buzz cut now, and we'll see if that makes any difference whatsoever in his momentum. I did like the promo at times, but I do think it dragged on quite a bit long, and they missed out on a hair versus hair match, as Matthew pointed out in the chat. But I'll give them this. I thought that it was something different. Like, Kyle Fletcher is so unhinged, he shaves his own head. I kind of liked it in that way. I just think the promo went on maybe a little bit too long. We had footage shown from Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, which is Scott D'Amore's new wrestling promotion. Looks like AEW is going to maybe have some kind of a partnership with them since WWE is working with TNA. They showed the footage of Takeshita's match and Ricochet coming out there and getting involved. By the way, I saw a few clips from that. Mauro Ranallo, what a fantastic commentator. It's a shame the stuff with his mental health because he should be in WWE or AEW. I'll tell you what, he would make the AEW shows better with his commentary. Like, he is next level. He's still got it for sure. But anyways, Ricochet was interviewed backstage by Renee Paquette, and he once again called out Takeshita or anybody else who wants to fight him on Rampage. Okay? Ricochet already wrestling on Rampage, but hey, at least it's something. Then MVP and Shelton Benjamin showed up, and MVP handed Ricochet his business card, so we got a little tease for a potential pairing with those guys. We'll see. We then had Brian Cage and Lance Archer against two random guys. In other words, Brian Cage won a match on Dynamite. Stop the presses. They pick up a win in a squash match, double choke slam. Looks like we got a new tag team in the works. We'll see if they can build up any kind of momentum before they ultimately lose to, like, Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly or something like that. We had the guys outside the B team, and speaking of Orange Cassidy, he ran into Chuck Taylor, who is now working as a producer since he has this career-ending injury, and he gave a little pep talk to Orange Cassidy about stepping it up, and more on that in just a little bit. We had our Ring of Honor World Championship match. Mark Briscoe defending his title against the Learning Tree. Hi, guys. Chris Jericho. I actually thought the match was really good. I like the fact that it was more of a grudge match. In ladder matches, you typically have the wrestlers constantly trying to win, climbing up. But in this match, Mark Briscoe was actually just wanting to beat the hell out of Chris Jericho. So they were using the ladders and the chairs more like weapons. I mean, they always use them like weapons, but focusing on delivering punishment and settling a score instead of just trying to win the title. I liked it in that sense. And Jericho, people insult the guy, but for 53 years old, he's out there, he's still taking some bumps. He went through 2 tables at one point, and The tide turned though when Briscoe went for a dive. He missed. He crashed through a ladder, and Jericho busted open Briscoe. But then after the break, Briscoe made a comeback. He laid down Jericho on a table. He went up to the top. But then Brian Keith, the bad apple, showed up. Then Rocky Romero attacked Brian Keith to seemingly even the odds, but we all know there's another guy in Jericho's group. Remember that? So Briscoe came off the top of the ladder with a froggy elbow splash, putting Jericho through a table. Really great spot here. I was afraid Briscoe was going to fall, but he kept his balance. He hit the move, and it was a great spot. But hit the J Driller and was perhaps finally on the verge of winning. But of course, Big Bill showed up, chokeslammed Briscoe over the top rope through the tables on the outside, and he took Jericho, helped Jericho climb the ladder, had him on his shoulders, and Jericho got the title. He's the new Ring of Honor World Champion. A few thoughts on this. So first of all, where the hell was Rocky Romero to come back out there? Maybe he was dealing with Brian Keith, but nobody else could help. Mark Briscoe doesn't have any other friends in this conglomeration or whatever the hell they're called. Where was Kyle O'Reilly? Nobody was out there to help Mark Briscoe besides Rocky Romero, and knowing Big Bill would be a presence, Mark Briscoe had no backup. But after the match was over, Ishii showed up. So Ishii was there the whole time. Was he jerking off backstage or something? He couldn't come out there and help Mark Briscoe retain the title and then maybe challenge him to a title match? No. He just stood there backstage. Mark Briscoe gets beat up by Big Bill, gets screwed out of the title, and then Ishii comes out and wants a match with Chris Jericho for the title. Pretty lame if you ask me. So that didn't really make sense to me. Mark Briscoe has no friends. As far as Jericho winning the title, look, I don't care about the Ring of Honor World title, so I'm not as outraged as some of the people online. Very unhappy that Chris Jericho is the Ring of Honor World Champion. It has ruined Ring of Honor. Well, newsflash, guys, Ring of Honor has been ruined for 2 years. They basically went out of business, and Tony Khan bought the intellectual property and is keeping it alive by name only. Ring of Honor is dead. It's just AEW's second brand. They're developmental. Whatever Ring of Honor is supposed to be at this point. Jericho is now a 9-time world champion. If you really want to consider the Ring of Honor title a world title at this point, like, where is it in the pecking order compared to like the TNT title or the Continental title or the International title? It's just another of too many titles in AEW. So I really don't care that Jericho won the title because I don't care about the title to begin with. But also, didn't we already see Chris Jericho as the Ring of Honor champion? Like, why are we seeing this again? Like, the storyline already happened. Jericho was the Ring of Honor champion. They're just repeating themselves at this point. Like, I don't care. There was really no point in Jericho winning this. I don't know if they're going to do a Ring of Honor show as part of this Warner Brothers Discovery renewal. I don't know. I don't really care. The whole thing didn't really make much sense. I thought it was a really good ladder match up until the end. And guess we'll see Jericho and Ishii chop each other for another 20 minutes in their rematch. I don't know. Don't really care. So it's more indifferent for me than just being angry about it. So I was going to say Michael Cole. Adam Cole came to the ring for a promo, but he was quickly interrupted by the Undisputed Kingdom, and Roderick Strong praised Adam Cole's rehab, but said he wants the first crack at MJF, and Cole was like, let's do it together. They called out MJF, but of course, MJF wasn't there. MJF was at his home. He was getting a massage, and he made a proposal. He said, whoever between Cole and Strong can get 3 wins in a row can face MJF at Full Gear, and he said he's not even going to show up in person until Full Gear. So there you go. We got this match coming up, and yeah, don't really care about this too much. I hate to say it for an MJF match. I presume it's going to be Adam Cole. This is a weird way to build up a match with them on pay-per-view, but whatever. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have little to no interest in this MJF match at Full Gear. I really don't. I think this build-up and this setup is pretty weak. We had a Penelope Ford promo, a little video package, and then Jamie Hayter responded. This was, second hour. They're starting to cram in the women's segments. Jamie Hayter was interviewed by Renee Paquette, and she challenged Ford to a match in 2 weeks. So that'll be the women's match in 2 weeks. Then we had the House of Black in a squash match. House of Black rarely appears on Dynamite, but here they were. They won a squash match, and then Buddy Matthews just randomly challenged Adam Cole. And when Buddy Matthews got backstage, Cole confronted him and wanted to know what the deal was. And Buddy Matthews said he wants to prove to everyone that Adam Cole is fragile. Well, looks like we know the first guy who's getting fed to Adam Cole next week. I mean, the whole match is just basically to reintroduce Adam Cole, give him a win. They're doing this whole 3 wins in a row. It's like it's already a foregone conclusion that Adam Cole is winning. They're doing this gimmick. First guy to 3 wins gets the title match. So, yeah, Adam Cole will defeat Buddy Matthews next week. I'd be shocked if anything other than that goes down. It's Adam Cole's first match back.
All right, boys, let's do this. With Paramount Plus, the family that streams together wins together.
We had our women's match, our one women's match of the evening, 9:27, Camille versus Queen Enamata. Now, here's the problem with this match. Literally right before this, it was announced that next week, Camille will be facing Chris Statlander. This was really dumb. Why would you announce Camille's match versus Chris Statlander for next week, and then you have her in a match with Queen Enamata, and we're supposed to expect that Queen Enamata has any chance in hell of winning when you've already announced a bigger match for Camille next week? I don't get it whatsoever. And it should have been a squash match. It was way more competitive than it needed to be. So Camille already looks pretty weak going into the match with Chris Statlander. Maybe that's the point here. I don't know. But Camille won after a hard-fought effort from Queen Enamata, and then afterwards, Chris Statlander came out. He had the big angle. Mercedes attempted a cheap shot, which Statlander no-sold. She attacked both of them, but then Mercedes grabbed the foot of Statlander, and then Camille took advantage, laid out Statlander, set up next week's show. And I suppose that means Chris Statlander wins next week and gets the title match with Mercedes Monet. There you go. We had what was almost going to be the main event segment here, because we had the AEW B team outside. I mean, they were out there for the entire show. They were waiting for John Moxley's crew to arrive, and instead it was Christian Cage with Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne. They came to the ring with the not Money in the Bank briefcase. They were chasing Kip Sabian. Then Hook showed up backstage and told Renee Paquette that he saw security footage. It was Christian with Mac Taz. He ran out there, and he got into a fight with them, but then Kip Sabian gave Hook a low blow, and then Christian gave hook the kill switch on the not Money in the Bank case and left hook lane. So Kip Sabian, I guess, is part of Christian's group. I don't know where this is going. I really don't care. And yeah, apparently Christian attacked Taz for whatever reason. Don't really care about this storyline too much. And then we finally had our main event of the evening, Danny Garcia with Private Party. Danny Garcia, big star, new re-signing, wearing a generic AEW t-shirt instead of his own merchandise. Usually when a wrestler comes out wearing the brand logo t-shirt, they're lower card. Like, Danny should have his own merchandise, right? You signed him to a new big deal. Why does he not have his own merchandise? Anyways, Danny Garcia and Private Party versus the Elite. Everyone started brawling. Stokely Hathaway was at ringside. Ian, I didn't even see this Mariah May segment, so I must have blinked and missed it at some point. I didn't even write anything about that segment. I completely missed it. So I apologize if I did miss a segment. It happens every now and then. So no comment on it. They were brawling, and then Nicholas accidentally kicked Matthew, and Private Party tried to make the tag to Danny Garcia, but Garcia got knocked off the apron, and then Jack Perry put Garcia through the timekeeper's table. Private Party was in trouble. They tried to make a comeback, but then Elite regained the upper hand. Garcia was eventually able to recover. He went after Jack Perry, and then as this was going on, Isaiah Cassidy rolled out Matthew and got the 1-2-3 victory. So Private Party gets a win, and after the match, Zay demanded a rematch. The Young Bucks blew them off, walked away, but then Zay said that if they lose, they will split up for good. And Mark Quinn was not too thrilled about this idea of splitting up the tag team if they lost. But yeah, it looks like Private Party getting one more match, as Christian might say, and I presume they win the tag team titles at this point. I don't know. Again, another storyline I really don't care about. And then at 10:04, the John Moxley truck arrived, and Dark Order and the B team were ready to fight, but it was Marina Shafir in the truck, and you cannot hurt a woman. They were wondering, where were the other guys? Which way did they go? Which way did they go? And they were actually in the ring. It was a setup. The stupid baby faces got fooled by John Moxley's group. Claudio and Yuta attacked Private Party, and then John Moxley had attacked Chuck Taylor backstage, threw him into the ring. They put a chair around his neck, and then Orange Cassidy ran to the ring, but was too late, and Claudio stomped on the chair, snapping the neck of Chuck Taylor, and then the Blackpool Combat Club took their leave. Orange Cassidy was distraught, and the B team came out there, devastated that their mission failed. They got outsmarted, they got outplayed, and that was the end of Dynamite. We had the big cliffhanger here. You guys that have followed my channel for years, you know how I feel about the stupid babyface. So before anybody says, oh, you're just being overly negative on AEW, go back, watch my old streams from 2019 through 2021, WWE streams, whenever the stupid babyface would get fooled. Like, I called out WWE countless times over it, and same thing applies here. So yeah, they spent 2 hours outside just to get outsmarted by John Moxley's group. It was ridiculous. So overall, this show was really a mixed bag. I did like the ladder match. I hated the finish. I liked Shelton Benjamin's match. Same thing as last week. Shelton Benjamin and MVP. So far, AEW has not screwed up this storyline. I will say that. Hopefully they don't mess it up. Next week it's Shelton Benjamin versus Swerve Strickland. Will Bobby Lashley debut next week, or will they save it till Full Gear? That remains to be seen. I give the show a C+. It was okay, but some of the booking on the show I think was counterproductive, and there's several storylines that to me I have no interest in. I don't care about Jericho being Ring of Honor champion. I don't care about Private Party going for the tag team titles again. I really don't care about Mercedes versus Chris Statlander. I don't care about Camille. I don't care that much about Adam Cole versus MJF, or MJF versus Roderick Strong, which I don't see them doing for Full Gear. So I'm not really interested in that storyline. Like, looking at the whole show, like, there's more that turned me off of what's going on than got me invested. I'm very much looking forward to MVP's storyline with Shelton Benjamin. To me, that was the highlight last week, and that was the highlight this week. They haven't messed that up yet. Cross my fingers that they don't screw it up. Bobby Lashley comes in. This could actually be a hot storyline. We'll see what happens. Yeah, C+. Hopefully next week's better. They're really hyping up next week. It's the Fright Night Dynamite. Fright Night Dynamite, the night before Halloween. That'll be next Wednesday night. Tune in for that. I'll be back here next week to give my thoughts. Thank you to everybody for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and spread the word. Stay tuned to Nodq.com for the very latest news and rumors, and I will see you all next time.